Hello, my name is Mike Johnson. I'm taking you on an inside and outside video tour of this 2015 Ford Explorer Detective Edition Police Interceptor with XLT premium package on it. It's a really nice Ford Explorer. It's super low mileage. It only has 30,000 miles. And even more importantly, it's got very low engine hours. It only has about 1,100 hours on the engine, and people get confused between miles and hours. So for example, I'm going to explain here. Let's say the police department buys a Ford Explorer and they give it to the guy with the radar gun who sits out there on the side of the road with the AC running and the engine running 40 hours a week, tracking down speeders and chasing them down. Those may have like 14,000 hours on the engine when they get to 100,000 miles. This one only has 1,000 hours, not 14,000 hours, so a very small fraction of use of the engine. So it's basically almost still like brand new, barely broken in. The engine 1,100 hours, and we'll show you that in a minute, how you tell, and 30,000 miles. It's extremely clean, no accidents. This is a detective edition. Never had lights on the roof or anything like that. It was painted gold, this shade of gold from the factory, low conspicuity color, but it did have stealth emergency lights that were on it. This little round thing there, they still have one in there, but it's not connected. They hit them in the headlights. These headlights would flash red and blue with hidden lights on the top of the windshield there that you would normally not see unless it was pulling you over. It did have two spotlights. It still has one. These are the higher end LED police spotlights, and it does work. So it has a little switch here. Turn that on, and then it has a very low glare LED, super bright, high powered LED searchlight. So if you go down dark roads, you can use that like an off-road light if you head off the road. Speaking of going off-road, it is all-wheel drive, so it's a 4x4 four-wheel drive Explorer, which four-wheel drive means all four wheels have power. So if you go out in the snow or the ice or the mud or sand on the beach, all four wheels are driving, so you're not going to get stuck compared to a normal two-wheel or front-wheel drive car that would get stuck in those conditions. If you ever seen the news, you always see these people stuck in the snow and ice sliding around. You won't have that kind of trouble with all-wheel drive. This is a California-owned vehicle. It was owned by County of San Diego. They took really good care of it. It's only got 30,000 miles on it. Inside, it's got cloth upholstery. It never had any cages or anything like that installed. It's got a center console, factory center console, factory high durability cloth interior. Everything is here. It's complete, nothing missing. This one has the full dome light package. It has the remote keyless entry with 2 keys, so you have a little remote to lock and unlock the doors. A lot of these don't. Now, we do offer to convert this radio to Apple CarPlay. It costs you about $1,000 to do it, to do the conversion kit. We can install that for you. If you want the upgraded Apple CarPlay stereo installed, you can go on Crutchfield and type in the specifications and see what it might look like. We did install one. The Apple CarPlay stereo is a pretty awesome feature, which is a major upgrade over what it has now. It does have a backup camera as well as parking sonar sensors. So So we look at the bumper. You have the little sensors that go beep, 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 beep as you get close to objects. And it does have the factory backup camera. This one has tinted windows. If I put it in reverse, we have our backup camera. Again, available with Ford Sync. Here's a picture what it might look like with the Ford or the Apple CarPlay system. Ford Sync system is available as well, but I recommend Apple CarPlay over Ford Sync. Ford Sync includes Apple CarPlay, which is the thing that everybody wants, but that's more than $2,000 to install. So here's your odometer reading. It's only 30,830 miles on it. I've driven it around a little bit. So let's go through our menus. Engine hours, 1,176 hours on the engine. Engine idle hours, 369 hours. What does that mean? So let's take my handy calculator. 369 hours, divide that by 40 hours of work week. Oh, that's wrong. 369 divided by 40. 9 weeks of idling. So if you say how many hours is 369 hours, that means this engine is idled for 9 weeks of 40-hour weeks. If you go look at some of these, you'll see 3,000 hours of engine idle time, 6,000 hours of engine idle time. This is actually nothing, 369 hours. If you have other Ford Explorers, you can do the thing. You can go through the menu using the steering wheel buttons and look at engine hours and engine idle hours and do a comparison to see how much use has been placed on the engine. Because this is still nowhere close to 14,000 hours. It's going to be a long time before it needs any kind of rebuilding. Let's go peek at the engine. Now, talking about the engine, what kind of engine does this have? This has the Ford Mustang 3.7 liter V6. It's non-turbo, high performance, very durable V6 engine in here. It sounds awesome. It's got a big battery in here. But because it's a non-turbo V6, it's a little bit less finicky than these turbo motors. Very reliable engine. Let's take a look at the VIN number. The VIN number on this vehicle ends, the last 3 digits are 043. It is a 2015 Explorer. Looking again at the back seat. This is the cloth back seat. If you look at a lot of the police Interceptors, they have like a vinyl back seat or no back seat at all, or the back seat was removed and some custom equipment was installed. By opening up the trunk, take a look inside. We have no third seat on the police detective version, but we do have this cargo tray here. Underneath we have a full-size spare tire with excellent tread, and you've got extra steel reinforcement. So the police version of the Ford Explorer, the police Interceptor utility version, has special steel reinforcement roll cage in the back. In the event this was ever rear-ended on the freeway, it's designed to withstand 70-mile-an-hour impact and be survivable. It has all its cargo tray in here. It's all in good order. Nothing missing. Has a big fire extinguisher mount here. If you want to put a fire extinguisher in here, you can. It's all ready to go. Nothing missing. It had little stealth lights in the back window. Those have been removed. Basically, it almost looks like a totally stock Ford Explorer, except it has more of a Mustang high performance edge to it. a smooth Ford Explorer ride. It's way smoother riding than the Chevy Tahoes. It drives like a normal SUV. It holds 5 passengers. While we're looking this over, it has a little cap where the other searchlight used to be, and the front has been covered over. If you wanted a second searchlight, you could easily order that and just simply attach it. We're gonna go on a little test drive. If you wanted to use this for like a security company, this searchlight is really bright, high intensity LED searchlight. Normally you keep it stowed like so that it wouldn't accidentally be pointed at any other vehicles. Here in California, it's legal to have 2 white searchlights on your vehicle, but it's not legal to point that at other occupied vehicles. Of course, unless you're law enforcement. You can use it for looking at wildlife or highlighting dark roads for extra light, like an off-road light if you go off-road. We're going to do a full acceleration. I let off at 55 because the speed limit here is 50 miles an hour, but it's capable of very tight, high speed U-turns. The engine sounds perfect, if you can hear it. It's pretty quiet. Now the backup camera is in the mirror, but if we install the navigation with Apple CarPlay system for you, if that's something you want to opt for, it moves the backup camera to the center of the display down here. It also changes the AC controls to more like an automatic climate control system. You got power locks, power mirrors, full feature, clean vehicle. There's no squeaks, no rattles in this. It's nice, excellent condition. One of the features this one retains is you have a stakeout light, which is either white light or red light. This is like you might see on a Navy submarine. Gives red cockpit illumination. So if you're sitting out here on surveillance at night, you could have this in the red mode. It's not as illuminating as the white light, but it does have full door activated interior lights. Some of these detected vehicles have dark car features. This one does not. Dark car means if you open the doors, there are no interior lights that come on, but this does not have the dark car feature, so the lights do go on and off like a normal family vehicle. So go underneath here, take a close look at the tires, the tread. Excellent tread, all-wheel drive, no sign of ever being in the snow or even mud. It's super clean underneath. Look, there's no corrosion. It's clean underneath. There's your tire tread again. The engine sounds excellent. I mean, 30,000 miles and low time, there's nothing. No corrosion underneath, no rust. This is not from a snow area. It's never been in the snow, probably. Snow's pretty rare in San Diego. My earlier picture of it in the snow, that was Photoshop to give you the suggestion that you could do that. Underneath, there's your fuel tank. All your tire treads are good. This has the steel rims, the heavy-duty steel rims, but it's got the full face hubcaps, dual exhaust, Mustang V6 engine, spare tire carrier. I showed you the spare tire earlier. You have your backup camera on by the license plate, rear windshield wiper. So check if this vehicle is still available or something similar by going to my website, mybestcar.com. That's my website. If this vehicle is available, it'll have pricing on the website. You can pay a check to buy this vehicle by paying to the order of. My company name is A Buyer's Choice. Now, my name is Mike Johnson. Thank you for watching my video. If you have questions about this or something else that's available on my website, give me a call, 951-681-2101. Thank you for watching.